Hey everybody, in this video I want to talk about why I don't think an out-the-front automatic pocket knife is the best choice for many people for a primary or everyday carry pocket knife. I say this after having carried this world-class blades out-the-front automatic pocket knife in my offhanded pocket for about 5 years now. I decided to make this video because about a month ago this started having some reliability issues. Sometimes it would come out, sometimes it wouldn't come out, sometimes it'd go out and it wouldn't lock. It seems to be working pretty well now. Actually not had that many problems with it over the last, say, week or so. But that made me think, if that were my primary pocket knife and it started to fail on me like that, well, it'd be kind of useless. And it made me think as well that it really doesn't matter what kind or what price level of out-the-front automatic pocket knife that you would buy, because you're going to run into some of the same problems that you would run into no matter what the cost. Now let's get into why I think that maybe for a lot of people, especially people who cut boxes or do anything with adhesive, an out-the-front automatic pocket knife should be a no bueno, no go. If you're cutting boxes or anything with sticky adhesives on it, this would probably be a nightmare. I say that, and I have a good demonstration of that with this Griptilian. One of my friend's Griptilians they gave me to sharpen for them. And if you look, that is all adhesive buildup on the blade. Both sides of it. Now people should definitely clean their knives before they put them away and before they close them. But if you look with the Griptilian, a little bit of adhesive on it isn't going to keep it from opening. But a little bit of adhesive on this, oh, there we go. Failed on us right there. Good timing. But a little bit of adhesive here or here, when you close it, is going to transfer to here and here. I think maybe we should also talk about what these other knives here on the table are. This is a counterfeit Benchmade that I bought on Amazon that you should never buy. I have a video on that. Look at, if you want to, you can look that up, but don't ever buy it. It is counterfeit. It is marked as a Benchmade, and it is not of Benchmade quality. We already talked about this one. This is another just general knockoff automatic, or out the front automatic, that you can find under several different brand names. This is not branded, so knockoff, not counterfeit. No one's trying to say that it's some better brand. And this is a Microtech Ultratech, pretty, I don't want to say high-end out the front automatic, because when you get into what would be considered high-end, they are like eye-wateringly high-end. I would say this is middle high-end and is a very high quality knife. But it would suffer from the same problems of adhesive intake as this knife, or even this knife, which you should not buy. But I don't think that's our problem here. I don't use this for adhesive. I'm actually very careful about what I use this for, and I do keep it clean. What I think is that this just ingressed dust from use or carrying, and so now it's kind of lost some of its reliability. And I think the best way to see if that's the case is to take it apart. So let's take it apart. Now, maybe I'm going to be wrong. Maybe I'm going to pop this thing open and it's going to be clean as a whistle inside, and all of what I just said here will have been pointless. Take, say, I believe it's a T9, no, T8. T8 for these fasteners. Oh, actually, before I take this apart, if you look here, this is a Bud K catalog. Try to get out of the light a bit. You can pick up this same pocket knife, as you can see, well, somewhat see. It's the same casting as this knife. It's the same knife. Pick it up for about 40 bucks. As I said, they're available. They say that's Bushmaster. One of the problems I do have with this knife, I bent the clip on it. They call it a Bushmaster, but it's the same design as this. And generally, all of these knives with the top push button are pretty much the same. They're not made in the same factories. They're not the exact same knives. This one and that Bushmaster do appear to be, but they're all generally the same. Work through the same principle. One of the nice things about these is that they generally use a fastener you can find a bit for, like this T8. Oh, yeah, I should probably go ahead and pull the clip off as well. That just unscrews with this glass breaker on the end. There we go. Clips off. Ooh, you can see that's kind of dirty. Not bad. Oh, Well, worse than I thought. Let's go ahead and pop her open. There we go. Now it's open. I don't see any problems. Okay, well, right there, look, there's a hair. There's a hair inside it. And I don't mean Bugs Bunny. Go ahead and pop this off of the side. It's your action. That's your switch. And here we have, I believe that's a piece of grass inside there. Don't know how that got in there. Now, we have these little gates that allow the blade to move forward or not move forward. You can just pull the blade out. Let's kind of take a look at the blade. Well, right there. There's a big bunch of grime right there. Look at that. Yeah, that is super grimy. And as I said, I clean this off every time before I close it, so it's not like I'm not watching my blade to make sure that it's relatively clean. Which that was not relatively clean. That was very, very dirty. Very, very dirty. Let's go ahead and grab a Q-tip and see what these rails look like on the inside. Thought I might need that one. Now I've just bent a Q-tip and taken off. Oh, look at that. That is gross. Imagine if that were your ear. Never mind. Because if you've ever worked in heavy industry like foundries or steel warehouses or anything really dirty, that actually might be what your Q-tips look like. Don't ask me how I know. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna have to pull some of the cotton off of this one too. I thought that I might have to do that. That's something you have to do sometimes with Q-tips. I'm sure anybody that's watching this video has done it themselves, where you bend the Q-tip over just to get a better angle to it, and you take off some of the cotton so that way it's not so thick. And that fills up that space really nicely and does a great job in just removing that grime. And not just on this, you can do this with a lot of different things. Now, I would like to do a much more thorough cleaning on this. My apologies for having it out of the camera view there for a second, but I wanted to kind of look and see how it looks inside. Because I do just want to put it back together. Well, I want to put it back together on camera for you, so that way you can see how it goes back together. It's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and slide our blade in, which that is still a little dirty. Now you notice I'm not putting any oil in here. If I had some, oh, here's something. When you have a blade that has these notches at the top, you need to make sure you push this gate up for the entirety of sliding the blade back into the body. Anyway, I don't tend to use oil in here because I don't want it to trap dirt, which, as you can see, is a bit of a problem. Let's look at our spring bar here. Actually, this doesn't look too dirty at all. I'm kind of impressed by that. It doesn't seem to have any accumulated dirt stuck to it or anything like that. So go ahead and just put this back into place. Has to go ahead of that. I can. You know, when you haven't done something in a while, there we go. Push it down, push it forward, and it should be on. If not, I guess I will find out. I'm really impressed with how the switch is held up. I didn't think it'd hold up as well as it has. And then I dropped the switch out because it fits in a little channel in here. And so, of course, I drop it out. Maybe I should do this a little differently so it actually goes together. There we go. And now I drop all the screws. It all works out. And screw your screws back in. Go with this one next. And then I'll do this one. Exciting. And then I'll do this one. You know, that is a problem. Uh-oh, I have something wedged. That happens sometimes. Especially when you're trying to do things on camera. If you didn't know, doing things on camera makes them like 100% more difficult sometimes. Oh yeah, it's moved. Push that down. Then push that forward so it clicks. There we go. Now it should be good. Put our button back on the top, or not button, I guess, trigger. And put it all back together. There we go. It just slipped out of place before I got the screws on, which can happen, as I said. And you don't have to do the screws in this pattern. I like to do them in this pattern. Doesn't really make a difference. Well, I don't want to say this pattern, but kind of like a star. I don't want to say a star pattern, but a perimeter pattern where I don't just do one across from the other and kind of move up and down the knife so they're all equally torqued. You know, or alternatively, you could let the spring bar slip out of place and not be able to get it back together at all. There we go. Those are all on. Put our clip back on. Just goes there. And it just got bent that way because I walked past something and it got caught in it. And I can use this little, I guess it's a lanyard hole to torque it. I don't torque it down very tight because it seems that this aluminum wants to reject it. Well, reject its threading. It's also why I haven't used Loctite on it. I carry it every day, so if it becomes loose, I'm aware of it, and I'm a little worried that if I put Loctite on it, it may strip out the screw or strip out the threads when I do go to take it apart. Now, as I said, regardless of the cost or the quality, this is a problem, or these are problems you're going to encounter with any of them. And as I said too, with these and even this piece of garbage, which uses Phillips head fasteners, another sign of not quality there, these all can be taken apart relatively easily and cheaply with hand tools and cleaned with your wonderful bent Q-tips. But like this Microtech, let's go ahead and make some noise. Make some noise. You need a specialty tool for their specialty fasteners, these tri-wing, I think they're called tri-wing fasteners. But you need a specialty tool for that, which you can pick up on Amazon, varying in price, $10, $15, less than $20. If you're going to buy one, I would suggest buying one like this, that it's got a hole in it for your little bar so you can torque, which shouldn't have torque on it that much. The specialty head for our specialty fasteners clicks right on there. And this particular one also has a driver for the glass breaker, which we'll also need. Now granted, you could probably get some vice grips on here or something, but I don't think most people want to take vice grips to their $350 out the front automatic knife. I certainly don't, and I didn't pay $350 for it, and I still wouldn't. In fact, I haven't even taken it apart yet because I don't really feel like I need to. It functions great. It's a wonderful knife. I'm really glad I picked it up. I've had several different Microtech knives over the years. This is my first automatic, but I accidentally lost a couple of those and I really regret that. So I'm glad I picked this one up. It's a cool knife. Is it worth $350? I don't know. I didn't pay $350 for it, so. And I probably wouldn't. Well, I don't know. I guess if I had that kind of money laying around, I might. And if I really wanted a high quality out the front automatic, yeah, I'd definitely buy that. And that's where I kind of come to with all of these out the front automatics. If you just want an out the front automatic to have to play with as a novelty, Even though this one's $20, don't buy it because it's counterfeit and it says Benchmade on the blade, and it's definitely not a Benchmade. But if you want, and also it's kind of garbage. It's plastic, the fasteners are garbage, it will wear out, it will not last. So that's another factor in not buying it. These, on the other hand, these aluminum ones, these are generally reasonable quality. This one I can say has lasted 5 years, works fine other than when it gets dirty, which that is actually a lot better. When it gets dirty, it gets a little sluggish and maybe isn't going to work quite so well. Look, that's not dirty at all. That's brand new. And it still didn't work. Brand new, brand new. So now the one thing I did notice with this one compared to this one is the spring is a lot softer. It's a lot easier to manipulate. Because even this Microtech, well, it's pretty easy to manipulate. But for some people, because, you know, you always let people play. Well, not play. You let people look at what you have. And for some people, these can be difficult. This one is always pretty easy. Microtech is the next one in ease. And then this one. Oh, except for this one, this is the easiest one. Again, probably because it's garbage. It is garbage. I shouldn't say probably. It is garbage. So don't buy it. Summation of all this. If you have a job, or if whatever your working environment is not very dirty, and you don't cut adhesives, then out the front automatic, maybe that's going to be your choice every day, all day. And even with your tighter tolerances of a Microtech, might keep some of that dirt ingress out or keep it from coming in so badly. Over time, it could still build up, just like this one did, and make the knife be unreliable. And that's something you don't want to run into. I always want my knife to be reliable. That's why for the last 13 years, this has been my primary pocket knife, a Benchmade AFCK. Before that, it was a mini Benchmade AFCK, so you can tell I really like the design. But this is another one of those designs that if you were to get stuff on the blade, it's unlikely that it's going to get stuck in there. But even if it did, even if it somehow did get stuck in there, you could always stick something in there and just rock that bad boy open. So, I have something on my blade right now. It's not adhesive, it's dirt. You know, dirt, like the kind of dirt that was keeping this one from functioning correctly. So now I'm sure a lot of people disagree with this, and a lot of people will say they carry their out the front automatics in very dirty environments. They use them all the time for all kinds of garbage. They never fail them. And that's great, and I'm glad they work well for them. But I would say for the general person who hasn't ever had one, is looking to buy one, there's some caveats behind buying one. And I would definitely say that before you buy something like this Microtech, buy something like this from a reputable seller that you know is going to actually be a knife like this. Carry it around for a while, see if you like it, see if it works for you, see if you start having reliability issues, because even if you have reliability issues with this faster, you'll probably have the same reliability issues with this at some point. So anyway, I hope you found that informative, or at least enjoyed, and now you know how to take one of these knives apart, although you could have already watched that in the video I did originally. So have a great day, and thanks for watching.